Hi there, it's Libby. I haven't made a video in a super long time. In fact, most of you probably haven't seen the other videos that I did a few years ago. And now I'm set up to start doing videos again, but in a different way. I may do videos showing me, but I don't know, because what I have to say is completely unlike everything that anybody in America, I'd say, would say when it comes to food addiction, motherhood, exhaustion, time and tasks. And I have a very long history in the 12-step program. I have been sober for, oh my gosh, going on 31 years in AA. And I would say my very first drug was food. I mean, before I ever took my first anything, food was food and fantasy. And I remember getting in touch with that over the years. It's been a great journey. I know I recommend not drinking alcohol to anybody who has a addictive personality. So I wanted to talk a little bit about my experience with Food Addicts Anonymous and different 12-step programs. And of course, anybody who's even gotten this far listening to me right now has probably tried absolutely everything. Jenny Craig, Weight Watchers, Atkins, South Beach, you name it, Nutrisystem, and then of course the 12-step programs. If you've really gotten into the suffering of food addiction, and you have certainly gone to Overeaters Anonymous, you're familiar with, well, it used to be called Gray Sheet, because my mother went to OA, 45 years ago. Long time ago in LA. And LA has a good Overeaters Anonymous, but you've probably been there. And then you tried FAA, and you tried FA, and Food Addicts in Recovery, these weird Barbie, bizarre, it's like the Scientology of 12-step programs. And here we are, just still doing what we need to do, most likely from pure exhaustion and just the driving force of trying to get it all done. And really, I don't have quote-unquote recovery where food is concerned. But I do have a message, and I do have some validation for those of you who feel completely invalidated by this society that says you can have it all, you should be able to have your babies and whip those babies out of bed at 4:30 in the morning and get your ass over to that CrossFit and CrossFit it up and eat nothing but, broccoli and chicken and weigh and measure and, and I got to tell you guys, I'm sure you've tried that. I'm sure you've tried it many different times, and I'm sure, like me, you see how good it is if you could just stick with it, but something's missing. And I say that what's missing is the truth, and I say what's missing is self-acceptance, and I say it's the opposite of what everybody says. Everybody says, you can do it, just set your goals, just, fill in the blank, just do smaller plates. Oh, just, you're crying, your heart is broken because your body looks nothing like you want it to look, you're exhausted, you don't even know how you've even gotten this far in my video, because you don't even have 3 or 4 minutes for fucking anything. And that's just the truth of it. And I feel like nobody's telling the truth. Nobody's saying, wait a minute, wait a fucking minute here. These women are, especially if you're an older woman and you've had a child like I did, or if you have multiple children, not to mention all of the stress, whether you have a husband or not, much less if you don't have a husband or a partner, of survival. And no, we can't do it. No, we can't weigh and measure. No, we don't have time to go to meetings. No, we don't have time to take a 10-minute walk. No, we don't have time, or the inclination in our desperation and absolute agony over this fucking issue. No. I don't have time to try another diet that's not going to work, because I need this food. I need what I need to get through this. And I wish that weren't true, but it is true. And if we can just, I can tell you that all that pressure, all that I have to do this, my health, my cholesterol, my heart, my children, and everybody says, you have to set your priorities. Oh, here's one. You have to make time for yourself. You know what? I'm not saying that it's all bullshit. We know that it's true, but can somebody please tell the truth about this? No, I can't do this. I can't measure up to the 12-step way of how it's supposed to be, the Jenny Craig way of how it's supposed to be, the CrossFit way of how it's supposed to be. No, the job, oh God. Just as a side note, be careful of anybody in the program who's retired. Because I've been in the program for so fucking long that I've had numerous experiences of being this young person in the program and having these retired people with all the time in the world whose children are grown, how hard is it for them not to take a drink or not to shove something in their mouth when they're set financially and basically, they get their whole lives belong to them. It's such fucking bullshit. Again, it's bullshit. So I'm going to do a series on this. I'm going to do 2 minutes of sanity. You have 2 minutes. 2 minutes of sanity. No, we can't do it. This is your sanity, is the truth. Now, you know and I know because you've applied yourself a million times. You can do it. I can do it. We can do anything for a short period of time. But until we start really being honest with what we're doing with ourselves without judgment, we feel like if we tell the truth and we're really honest, that means we're giving up on these high ideals of looking a certain way and eating a certain way and not craving certain things and not feeling certain things and not thinking certain things. But I feel, honestly, the wave of the future is, telling the complete truth and finding some way, through faith or steps or therapy or whatever, to find a way to accept ourselves exactly as we are right now, because we're not going to be able to do this food thing. I mean, I've been at this thing for 40 years. I went to meetings way, way, way before I got sober, and I'm still me. And really, I'm finding out after many years sober. And maybe if I were in recovery and if I were doing my weighing and measuring and doing all the perfect shit, maybe I would be doing a different video. But that's not my experience. I have my experience. And I'm going to tell you about it if you're interested. And I'm going to tell you every day that no, you can't do this. And no. You can't just set your goal and do it. You have children. You have other things that mean so much more than anything that the CrossFitters are telling you you're supposed to be doing. Anyway, this is Libby signing off. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned.